Hello and welcome to 𝐈𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐿 webinar. Today we have a very interesting session regarding the transform any API into the MCP server. So in this session we are going to cover the how you can convert or you can transform any API into the MCP or MCP server, which you can enable within your agent AI agent. So let's jump on to this today topic, and also we are going to cover the demo, like how you can create the simple API into the MCP server and you can use it within an AI agent is. So before starting this session, let me introduce myself. My name is Rajnish Kumar. I'm CTO of 𝐈𝐧𝐭𝐞𝐚𝐝 and also I'm the Muse of Ambassador. So let's start the session. Transform any API into the MCP server. So in this topic, we are going to talk the make any app agent accessible. How we are going to do this? So with MCP support, you can expose any business logic or data workflow to the agent so that they can act not as a only observer. What does it mean is basically is whenever you have any data and your agent, you are going to do the grounding of data to your agent. They will act on the data, not like sitting idle and looking to the data only. So what are the things we are going to get your system agent ready fast? That's things is turn any API integration or system into the action. The agent can invoke, no custom code required. Second is enable agent to execute the workflow. So since it's behind the API, all flow and workflow is there, and you are enabling through the API. That's where this MCP, once you convert into the MCP server, then that data will translate all your workflow into the data, and then that will be used within your AI agent. And last but not least, accelerate the value is. So since you have a pre-built API and you are using a standardized way of using API and a workflow, and now you are invoking that API into the MCP and then converting to the MCP so that you can use an API. So in this way, a lot of your hard work is getting done by the API, which is existing API, and now you have to build only MCP on top of that and enable to the agent. So it will faster your whole productionized of agent into the system is within your organization. So now let's look into the bring MCP to every API. So what does it mean is basically you have I just explained, basically you have already APIs there, all your workflow is there, all your logic is there. Now you are enabling this data or this workflow through the MCP protocol, which is getting those data from your CRM data or ERP data or any of your database or SaaS. It is enable those data through the API to the MCP, and you can use it directly to the AI agent. So it's all within one ecosystem, part of the one ecosystem. It will not go beyond your existing your work, or you are whatever you did the previous in your API development. You are building on top of that so that it will reduce your whole turnaround time into the production for your AI agent. So now you can build the context-rich AI application. Start building your AI impact across some of the most popular business process. Stand-up inventory agent with the full context, customer support agent with the personalized. No matter what your use case, ensure a scalable, secure agent automation across your IT infrastructure. So if you look for this all agent and data point is you already APIs that you are building on top of there through the Muse of MCP. Now create secure and scalable AI system is. So if you look for this one, MCP introduces a standard way for agent to interact the enterprise system is. So MCP provide the one wrapper so that you can interact all your system through the MCP, and MCP behind the MCP you are enabling through the API, and then those all data is available for you for your agent is. So it's make your life much easier compared to your building from a scratch is. So let's jump on the demo. This demo, we are going to transform existing API into the MCP server. So this is existing API, and this is basically based on the employee number. We are getting a employee detail, and this is all detail is information. As you're sending this request, we are getting this information. So let's jump on this demo to how we can convert existing this API into the MCP, and this MCP we can use it for agent to ground some of the data is. So start this project. Let's there's a couple of options here for converting into the existing API into the MCP. You need to select the develop and integration, that option, and then start with the empty project. And now you can put your project number, add your project number. So this is my project name, and I'm going to select. So this is workspace. I'm going to create in workspace EMP API MCP demo, and I'm starting with the empty project, and rest of thing keep it the default. And now you can create. So let's select the workspace inside the MuleSoft, select, and now you can create project name, and now create the project. So yes, I trust the author. Some of the browsers. So as soon as you click this create project, you will get the couple of options here, over here. So we are going with the first option, create an MCP server. So MCP server giving a creating MCP server existing API, and you can use it for your agent is. So let's click this one, and now this is a couple of options it came. Here we are going to add configuration. So I'm adding this one, EMP MCP server, keeping this server name. So select this one, streamable HTTP server, and now /MCP, and now server name. Let's add over here one more connection, and everything looks good. So keep it this HTTP, and keep it the same. Make sure that everything is, and add this one. Now this is a listener configuration is configured. Make sure that you are using server name as you can add any name over here, like EMP server, EMP server, EMP MCP server. So I'm adding this one. Version is, keep it the version 1.0.0. So this is a version, and here name is, I can connection, so that I know there's connection related with the connection, and add this one. Now you can see these are the once you create the connection, you can see like it is being populated over here. Now you can put the name, like suppose that I'm getting an employee ID. So I'm adding over here as name is employee ID. Get employee by ID. And then description, I am adding this description, return return single employee by employee ID. And then now, this is very important piece. Whenever you are defining a parameter, make sure that it's aligned with what you are passing and is well validated is. So that's why you have to define the schema so that your request is expecting like that. Now I pass this information as a validation schema. So if you notice is they are expecting employee ID, the type is a string, and this is a required field. That's the two things we mentioned over here. And now here response, there is add option is here. So what kind of response you are getting? We are not just going with the very simple one. This response just fx, and then we are expecting raw, whatever the response is coming, we are passing as it is. So this is how it is look like. And keep it, everything is same, no change. And now once you're happy with this one, now you add the HTTP request, so you can get those HTTP requests from the APIs. So I'm selecting the request parameter, and now this is getting information, and you are creating a connection. Request configuration operation, request HTTP parameter host. Here you need to pass the exact same host name what you are using for your at this point. So this is your host. This is your host. Since we are getting from that particular API, and port is, since it is HTTP call, so we are keeping 443. This is a default port. And now URL configuration base, you can look into the what base URL. So you can go with this one. Now all looking good over here. Make sure that all, since this is one of the simplest API, there is no authorization or any security, anything is implemented over here. So just we are passing as it is, we are not setting anything. And then you can add this connection over here. Now, if you look for everything's looking good, you are not making any change, and now here you can, and we are not making any change over here. Body is a payload, and now we can pass as a path as a payload.employee ID. So now what is that one is, then after that employee ID is coming, and then getting from the payload is. Okay. So if you notice is, employee ID and then employee going to like that. Everything looks good. Now once you're happy, now you can deploy this whole application into your AnyPoint Studio. So now here, go to the TDX Agent Fabric Cloud Hub 2.0, and I'm selecting your US East 1 and deploying the sandbox. And now I'm deploying this application. I'm selecting second version of that Java 17. And now version is 1.0.0. Now your application start to deploying, and you can look into this information over here. at this point, you can see this application is coming over here. You can go over here. Now you can directly come. Sandbox. Now it start to deploying EMP API MCP demo application start to deploying over here. And now you can see this MCP server enable application started. But as soon as this application is done their deployment, you can directly access from your Postman. It's deploying, your application is started deploying. You can see is working. So now you can see this application is being deployed. Now this is your public endpoint. Let's copy this endpoint. Copy link and go to your Postman. Here make sure that you are hitting to the MCP server. This is MCP and select the HTTP. And then now you are adding as a MCP /. And now you can do the connect. Now, as soon as you see, as soon as I hit the URL, automatically is connected and I get the employee by employee IDs. This is how you can find the MCP is running perfectly. Now I can pass the employee ID over here. Let's pass the employee ID and just see is what response we are getting. And this is employee ID I'm passing. And run. Now you can see I'm getting this response. I'm getting an error. So now I found like what I'm making a mistake over here. If you notice is I'm passing the // over here. So I'm just going to remove this // and I'm again redeploy this application. So now application is deployed. Let's first disconnect this one and try to reconnect again and just see is this time it is working or not. So now it is being connected and now we are passing employee 10045 and now I'm running this application. And now you can see the response is coming from application from API and you can see over here as MCP server. Now you can change this time the employee ID 10045, SSN number 3345, first name is John. Now change with the different employee ID and just see this is changing or not. And you notice it like again when I change the employee ID and this name and everything is being changed. So it means is now your existing API is converted or transformed into the MCP and then now you can use this MCP server into the agent as a grounding of data is. So this is a very easy way you can easily transform any of your API into the MCP and you can use it for agent force. So if you have any more question, feel free to reach out to us and the detail and everything is in this slide. Thank you for joining this session. Thank you very much.